Hey yo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Monday night, June the 11th, 2018, and the minute this show went on the air tonight, I knew we were in trouble with Monday Night Raw, and we are here to bring the hammer down on it right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean, baby. The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the world's greatest tag team, Thor, the Wrestling God of Thunder, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and my little buddy and most trusted companion in the whole entire world, and the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in the entire universe, Blue the Snowball. Thank you guys for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review for tonight. And to be honest with you guys, I don't even want to talk about this shit show. Sure, we had a couple of matchups that were actually good, but the show flowed like trash. The show felt like its usual 3-hour chore. It was a 3-hour bore, not a 3-hour tour that sent Gilligan and his buddies to a deserted island somewhere, although that's what it felt like it did to me. I feel like they just absolutely have no clue how to book a proper wrestling show anymore. An obstacle course? An obstacle course. What the hell happened? Did this come up in the creative meeting from some jerk off in there? Oh, Mr. McMahon, remember a couple of weeks ago when Titus fell on his ass and we showed that footage of that obstacle course? We haven't done that since NXT Season 2. What was that, like 12 years ago? People won't remember. Why would you do something like that? Easily one of the worst WWE segments of all time, and we're going to bring that back to live TV Monday night in a segment that is being planned for two superstars that have been embroiled in what can be deemed as the absolute worst feud of all time. We've had a month-long, absolutely dreadful series of entertainment-style segments for Sami Zayn and boring, trashly Bobby Lashley, leading up to an obstacle course. You know, with the way it ended and Sami Zayn taking out Bobby Lashley as soon as he finished this thing, as Bobby Lashley went first in this supposed contest, I thought, alright, this could have been okay if maybe you did this 3 weeks ago and do this instead of making us see three grown monkey-looking people dressing up like friggin' women on national television that clearly are not Bobby Lashley's sisters. Three giant baboon men, poorly dressed in drag. And now you want me to give a shit about an obstacle course? After Instagram segments and Bobby Lashley fan club bullshit. The minute this segment began, I didn't care. The minute it ended, even with the way it ended, I didn't give a shit. I didn't care about Sami's cool little haluva kick off the ropes. I'm not going to get excited about any of this. You ruined this from the very beginning. Bobby Lashley's still coming out smiling. He's talking about beating Sami's butt. You couldn't get a little bit more aggressive than that? He's back to dominate. Or is he back to beat butts? That's what his fucking t-shirt should have said. There was a couple of good segments on the night. Elias and Seth Rollins, of course. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, of course. These are repetitive things on the show. These are the only reasons to continue to watch Monday Night Raw. Why else are you watching it? To see Baron Corbin's new fucking haircut? Sure, he looks better, because he looked ridiculous with that stringy hair flowing behind his head, with his hairline receding all the way back to his ears almost. So it's a definite upgrade to his persona. But why is this man not wrestling? Why have we relegated Baron Corbin to be a second fiddle to Kurt Angle? And that was the only segment we seen him in. He came out to debut his fucking bald head, and that was it. The Constable Corbin was gone and did nothing else. All he did was tell us, oh, I'm here to make sure that Raw runs smoothly. And we didn't see him again. Maybe they felt like his head was putting too much of a glare on the camera. Maybe it was distracting the production crew in some way. I don't know. What other reason was there? To show off his fancy suit, his little waistcoat, looking more like fucking Daddy Warbucks than Baron Corbin? I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, I don't even want to be talking about this show. I had a fucking terrible day. It's one of these days where, you know, I feel like I can relate to guys like a Dolph Ziggler, like a CM Punk, like a Daniel Bryan. You know, these guys, they go to work every day. They put in the work. They get little niblets. You know, they got their shot. They were given the spotlight here and there. They were allowed to shine. But the company never truly wants to go with them. They want to go a different way. Like myself. You put your blood and your sweat and your hard work into everything. You put your best foot forward every day. You try to become a number one member of the company, much like all of these men. And it doesn't work out. And you don't understand why. And it makes you want to walk away. CM Punk did so, not successfully. I don't want to talk about CM Punk either after what the hell happened to him over the weekend. He didn't have a great weekend. I've seen all I need to see of CM Punk in MMA, and that's all I'll say about that. I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but Monday Night Raw gives me no reason to want to talk about it. What do you want me to tell you? That Sasha Banks and Ember Moon have great fucking chemistry, but they keep getting wasted in fatal four-way matches and tag team matchups instead of the WWE doing the right thing and taking two talented females that could light up the ring, as we see every time they get involved, and do something with them. No, instead we get random tag team matchups, 6-woman tag team matchups, fatal four-ways out the ass. Why do you give a shit about anything that happened tonight? It began with a fatal four-way, and we ended with a fatal four-way. This is supposed to be the Money in the Bank go-home show, and we had absolutely nothing outside of Seth Rollins and Elias that really moved anything towards Money in the Bank. Did you give a shit about Roman Reigns? Of course not! Who does? You have him on the show, give some bullshit promo, letting everybody know that he's not forgotten about the Universal Championship. Nobody wants you to get the Universal Championship. Nobody cares. And then you go out there against Jinder Mahal, supposedly. That didn't make any sense to begin with. That already had me off my rocker. And then you have Jinder Mahal tease the possibility of the opponent being the Great Khali, and I really wanted to go absolutely insane, only to have it be Sunil Singh instead. This is what you guys got? This is the best your creative team comes up with? Roman Reigns dispatches a half-man, a half-midget person in literally like 2 minutes, and then gets beat down by Jinder Mahal. We're supposed to care? Why do we care? We didn't give a shit from the minute this feud was booked from the beginning. What else do you want me to tell you guys about today? Natty wins a fatal four-way with a busted leg. This is the story we're going with. Natty's going to end up climbing the ladder and winning the Money in the Bank. That was my guess. But, you know, if history tells us anything, if you're winning matches on the go-home show, you're probably not going to win your Money in the Bank match or your World Championship match or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with it, and honestly, I don't care, because where's that going to lead Natalya? Right into the arms of the Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey feud. Put me to sleep now, why don't you? Was Ronda Rousey good on the mic tonight? She was better than she's been ever. Not at the beginning. This was obviously a tremendously over-scripted piece for both of these women. When you come out of that segment and the guy that comes out shining the most is Jonathan Coachman, you know you did something wrong. They put Coachman in his actual element, which is in an interview persona, which is what he was doing at ESPN, so of course he's going to do that good. He sucks at commentary. But you put Coachman in a position where he outshined the women's champion and the baddest woman on the planet. Because he is good at that. You know who's not good at delivering lines and promos and doing these things? Nia Jax. She proved it tonight. She's more monotone and robotic than Charlotte Flair could ever be on her worst day. We used to get on Charlotte's case for being so robotic and talking about being the queen. And Nia Jax has her beat. Bender from Futurama has way more personality. He's an actual robot. Nia Jax sitting there trying to remember her lines, delivering them with absolutely no soul, absolutely no fire, no desire, nothing, no anger. She's coming off as like, oh, well, I like Ronda. I'm just trying to push her buttons. I want to see if she's as tough as she says she is. Get out of here with that garbage. You should be sitting there saying, I'm Nia Jax. I'm the women's champion. You are nothing. You just got here. This is your first match. I'm going to wipe the floor with you. I'm the baddest woman on the planet. That's how that thing was supposed to go down. Not that way that they did it tonight. So underwhelming. So uninteresting. Only for you to have Ronda Rousey wrap up Nia Jax and have her tap out on TV. It made Ronda Rousey look fantastic. It made the women's champion look like the chump that the WWE has painted her out to be. Nia Jax deserved better than this. This woman was ruined from the minute she came up to the main roster. She was nowhere near ready, just like she's not nearly ready to be the women's champion right now. And this whole angle is nothing but a vehicle to get this belt somehow around the waist of Ronda Rousey. Whether it's through Natalya, or as a result of something that is yet to come, we will have to wait and see. But either way, I don't care. I really don't care. They want to sit there and shove Ronda Rousey down my throat now. You want to keep telling everybody how she's the biggest acquisition in WWE history. Bullshit. That's bullshit. That's WWE propaganda. That's the women's evolution machine trying to push that agenda. Not that I'm against it, because we all know that I'm not, but this woman, twice tonight, had her own commercial hyping her specific match at Money in the Bank, interrupting both main event Fatal 4-Way matches. I'm sure the girls that were out there trying to kill themselves in this unnecessary Fatal 4-Way were very appreciative of the 3 minutes that you nearly took away to hype a Ronda Rousey match, not to mention the 5 other commercial breaks you had in between that one match, which didn't really allow me to enjoy that match. Sure, what we did get to see was good, but imagine if we actually got to see the whole match in its entirety. And we're given enough time to allow our brains at home on the couch to invest before you want to start showing me the fucking Chrisleys. And advertisements for an Eternal Con that happened a fucking year ago. Did anybody else catch that? 2017 Eternal Con featuring CM Punk. That was last year. I was there. I was at it. It's not happening again. Not that one that they advertised tonight. If you're going to ruin WWE matches with commercials, at least make sure the fucking commercials are current. I don't understand what's going on. I really don't understand what's going on. I could care less about half the shit that happened on this show tonight. Did you give a shit about what was going on with Kevin Owens during the lead up to the Fatal 4-Way main event? The little backstage interactions. They had to get some food on the show. The WWE food obsession continues. We had to have a fucking bowl of olives on the show because Kevin Owens couldn't find an olive branch to extend his offering of peace to Finn Balor so that they could take down Braun Strowman as a team. Are you kidding me? That screams TV jerk-off soap opera writer. Oh, well, we're not going to be able to find an actual olive branch. Oh, we're clever. Let's just give him a bowl of olives. Black olives, no less. That's not even the right kind of olives. At least you should give the solid green olive that comes off of a fucking olive branch. Terrible writing throughout the entirety of this show, which is what's killing wrestling. You know, I left this House of Glory logo up. We did the House of Glory review show. We just put that up yesterday because Saturday night I was at a wrestling show that went almost 4 hours long. That is easily 320,000% better than what I had to sit through tonight. A little independent show in the middle of New York City outshines Raw consistently. There's no doubt in my mind that if you had House of Glory with a regular TV spot opposite Monday Night Raw on a Monday night, they would be beating them out in the wars right now. That's how good House of Glory is. They understand wrestling. WWE does not. WWE wants to give us bullshit comedy acts. They want to give us commercial break after commercial break after commercial break. They want to hype one match from Money in the Bank that nobody gives a shit about throughout the entirety of the show. And they want to give us tag team wrestling finally. We had 2 tag team matchups. Should we be happy about that? Because both of those tag team matchups combined barely lasted 10 minutes. How is that tag team division? How is that matchups that are deserving or worthy of a tag team division? Sure, in the case of McIntyre and Ziggler, you had them going up against Breezango. How much of a threat is Breezango? All they're doing is trying to solve bullshit mysteries in the back. We don't even get to see them anymore on TV. They are exclusively relegated to the WWE YouTube channel. That's how important Breezango is. They come on TV to lose. They just lost to the fucking B team. You think they're going to lose to Ziggler and McIntyre? Of course. It's a no-brainer. A dominating squash victory by the duo. The best part of that whole match was the promo that they cut after the fact. Pretty much running down the entire tag team division, which they clearly illustrated was lacking, being that they only listed about 3 teams, and each one of those teams, none of them could even hold a candle to McIntyre and Ziggler. They didn't, I don't remember hearing them say the Revival, but even if they did, what does the Revival bring to the table nowadays? Absolutely nothing. The tag team division is dead outside of Ziggler and McIntyre, and they know it. And they know it. The B team's getting the push right now. They're the hot hand. They're the flavor of the month, so to speak. Their little segment after their quick squash match against Slater and Rhino, which is just an absolute fucking joke by now. Why these guys are even still employed is beyond me. Just cut your losses, free up some fucking payroll, and get rid of some of this dead weight. You'd be helping the show. Because for some reason, these people with the pen in the back feel an absolute necessity to get every single person that they can on the show. Slater and Rhino didn't need to be on the show. You want to give the B team a victory? Give them a victory against somebody else. Slater and Rhino beating them? What does it mean? Although we had a great promo from Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, the Eaters of Worlds or the Deleters of Worlds, and I liked that t-shirt that Matt Hardy was rocking. What does it mean? Nothing. Tag team championships are kind of dead on Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. They're not doing anything. Sure, they were entertaining. Bray Wyatt seems to got his chops back. He's much more interesting again. Playing off of Matt Hardy is fun. It's interesting, but what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. Bayley versus Ruby Riot. Once again, much like the Fatal 4-Way, this was a good match. These girls had good chemistry. Ruby Riot again illustrates what I say week after week, that she does not need a faction of goons. We don't need Little Miss Trenchmouth and Lady Braun ruining these matchups. Ruby Riot and Bayley were doing just fine. But the WWE's lack of creativity forces them, because it's a stable involved, to go the route of the Miz Taraj and Jinder Mahal and all these things that they've been doing to us consistently for the last 2 years, where if there's a faction, the faction has to get involved. That should not always be the case. If Ruby Riot was going to get the win in this scenario, there is no reason why Bayley needed to remain to look strong, and Ruby Riot should have won this match clean to make her and solidify her as a threat, and the threat that she actually is to the women's division. Bayley is doing nothing right now. And you want to talk about more nothing? Why is this match even happening on the Money in the Bank go-home show? Neither of these women are involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match. They are not in a match at Money in the Bank, nor should they be. So why are we having this? Before this match even took place, you got the Riot Squad walking around backstage flipping over producers' papers. Ruby Riot cuts some guy's tie in half. That's starting a riot? That's being riotous? That's riot-like behavior? Obviously, they don't know what a riot actually is in the WWE. It's a little bit more like what we see from Sanity and a whole lot less of what we're seeing from the Riot Squad. Unnecessary. Garbage. Just like, uh-oh, you see it coming. This is on. Oh, hey, no way. Oh, hey, no way. Get the fuck out of here with this guy already. The WWE went full-on copycat. The creativity died in this company. Because they said, oh, we got a guy with a dancing song. He comes out dancing. Life's a party. Who was that other party guy that we had? Who was that other guy that did the party thing? Adam Rose. Oh, what did he have? What were those idiot things we had? Braun Strowman was one of them. Zelina Vega was one of them. We had Becky Lynch was one of them once. Oh, the Rosebuds? Oh, yeah, that's it. We'll give No Way Jose some Rosebuds to dance with, because that's what got him over at NXT. Why not just go full circle? Take the whole fucking angle, give it to him, call it the No Way Jose experience, and then call the idiots on the outside dancing like retards, call them the Hosebuds. Just do it. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you're writing. You just took that script from the Adam Rose days of Raw and threw it in the No Way Jose angle. You wanted to try to give him more pizzazz by putting him against Kurt Hawkins, the losing streak guy? Hiding in plain sight amongst the Hosebuds? No way, Jose, I couldn't believe what I saw. You know why I couldn't believe what I saw? Because I can't believe that this is what's being written for Monday Night Raw. No Way Jose rolls up Kurt Hawkins real quick. His conga morons played absolutely no part in anything going on, and nobody gave a shit. Let's try to get a little positive just for a second, because I feel my anger boiling, which is never good. Seth Rollins and Elias. Absolutely fucking great. Absolutely great segment. And I think it's because it's not being written by WWE morons. I really doubt they're writing the material for Elias. I'm pretty sure he does that for himself. And if he does, my applause goes out to him, because tonight he had a fantastic song, which he actually got to sing. Nobody interrupted. He got through it from start to finish. An anti-Seth Rollins ballad with a little jab to the hometown crowd involved. It was something very, very special. It was fantastic. Elias has the natural ability to make you simultaneously hate and love him And that is a very rare and magical thing that the WWE needs to embrace. He had a custom-made guitar sent to him by John Mayer. Why he picked John Mayer, I will never know. That is not impressive to me at all. You know, he could have said this was given to him by Jacob Dylan. You know, somebody else. You know, maybe the guys from Mumford & Sons, something a little more relevant. John Mayer is not an impressive guitar player to me. I'm sure maybe there are John Mayer fans out there. Please don't get on my nuts about it. I'm just not a big fan of his. I thought he could have picked a better person, maybe Paul Simon. You know, somebody with some real ties to music. You know, John Mayer. Blech. But the guitar was beautiful. The Intercontinental Championship guitar was great. And the minute I saw it, I knew that it was not going to leave this night in one piece. Seth Rollins would come down and turn this into exactly that. He would tease and taunt Elias to stomp on that guitar, which he eventually did, breaking it up into pieces, which absolutely hurts my soul every time I see a guitar get bashed. Even when Elias does it, when Bubba Ray did it, when Jeff Jarrett did it, when the Honky Tonk Man used to do it, I hate seeing a guitar get destroyed. I went to a concert once in which Ted Nugent was one of the acts on the bill, and he took a flaming arrow and shot it at a guitar, and it exploded live on stage. Now, as awesome as that was with him in the whole headdress and the whole nine, to see the visual was fucking fantastic, but the fact that he did that to a beautiful guitar just absolutely hurts me. So I hate seeing guitar violence. It bothers me. But other than that, this segment back and forth was great. It actually built towards the one match on the card that I am looking forward to seeing the most outside of the two Money in the Bank matches. So that was good. The men's Fatal 4-Way, this was just another in a long line of things that just need to stop. They just need to stop. The multi-man matches are just dreadful. They really, really are. They're boring. This one really was about one spot. This whole Fatal 4-Way was about that ladder spot where Kevin Owens took to the top of the ladder and frog splashed Braun Strowman as he laid across the announce table on the stage, taking him and himself, I'm not being clear, taking out Braun Strowman as well as himself, Kevin Owens, in the process, leaving us with a one-on-one match essentially, of Finn Balor and Bobby Roode, which nobody cared about. People cared about as much about that as they did about Bobby Lashley. So there you go. That tells you everything in a nutshell. Braun Strowman would come back from this and end up winning the match, running power slam to Kevin Owens into a steel chair. That was Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. That was it. I went on a tirade at the beginning of this thing because there is nothing. There is nothing here. I don't understand. I really, really don't. The commercials felt a little bit much to me tonight. I know sometimes I say that, but I really, really felt like they were more than usual on this evening's broadcast. And there was absolutely nothing to this show. This is a go-home show meant to hype and build what you're calling the greatest Money in the Bank event of all time, because it's the first time you're including it in the Big Five rotation. And this card, as of right now, it looks pretty stacked, although some of the matches you really don't want to see. And you gave me absolutely no reason to want to tune in. No reason. What did they do with the Fatal 4-Ways? Did they get your interest up for the Money in the Bank ladder matches? For either the men or the women? The minute this show opened up and everybody was sitting on top of ladders in the middle of the ring, I already checked out. I absolutely did. One thing I wanted to point out is there is one other thing about Baron Corbin I wanted to say before we sign off tonight. And I'm a little bit all over the place because, like I told you, today's been a real shit day. And Monday Night Raw was a shit show to add on top of that shit day. So I'm a little discombobulated tonight, and I apologize to that for that to you guys. You see what I mean? See what I'm saying? Baron Corbin is the Constable of Raw, right? And we have our own Constable here. We have Constable Corbin Bernsen. And he wanted to make a little point tonight. I probably should have opened it up with Corbin Bernsen. Hopefully, you guys are still here. We're already a half an hour deep. So I will know how many of you watched the whole way when you tell me what you have to say to the questions we are going to take right now from Constable Corbin Bernsen of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Constable, please join us.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me again.
How you doing, Constable?
I have a question and a problem with Baron Corbin.
Yeah? Well, what is that?
Well, I'm going to tell you. Since I'm the only constable in pro wrestling, I feel it is my duty to inform you that I do not understand why he feels he is in charge of Kurt Angle in any way.
Well, what makes you want to bring this point to light, Mr. Constable Corbin Bernsen?
Well, are you a fan of Batman?
Oh, Batman? Of course. Who doesn't love Batman? I'm a huge fan of the Batman.
Well, why don't you ask Commissioner Gordon if he takes orders from his policeman, or if the policemen take orders from James Gordon? Tell me.
Well, of course, the commissioner's supposed to be in charge.
Then why does Baron Corbin think he has any authority over Kurt Angle? It makes no sense. Cops listen to commissioners. They don't order them around. Big logic gap. Raw fucking sucks.
Whoa, easy. Don't get started again. I asked you last time when the show went off the air to not be so vulgar and to try to lighten up the show. I had a bad day, dude. I wanted you to come out here and make me laugh.
You think I give a shit about your bad day after I just had to watch 3 hours of awful wrestling?
I guess not, because after I have to watch it, I don't really give too much of a shit either.
Thank you very much. That's all I got to say this week. I'll see you next week. I'm Constable Corbin Bernsen. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And we will see you next week. That was the Constable. He is a big Batman fan like me. He brings up a valid point. You know, Commissioner Gordon, he's the guy that gives the orders. Commissioner Angle is taking orders from the police officer, Baron Corbin, or he's at least intimidated, and it doesn't really make too much sense. And those are all the things we have dropped the hammer on tonight. I tried my best to give you my best on a day that I am not feeling my best, and we went all in and brought out the puppet and everything to try to lighten this show up. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself and agreed with everything I have to say. I hope I wasn't too overly negative for you, and if you enjoyed this show and agreed with everything I have to say, then you should be a member of the Sledgehammer Club. And in order to join that Sledgehammer Club, all you have to do is smash that subscribe button right now, and then click that thumbs up and share this video with all of your wrestling friends across the entire wrestling world. Let them know that the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show is here, and we are bringing the hammer down on the world of pro wrestling like nobody else does across the globe on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean, baby. And if you are listening to any one of those audio platforms, make sure you check us out on Sledgehammer TV at youtube.com, the official broadcast home of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show and all things wrestling that come out of Sledgehammer TV. Entertainment, Hollywood hammerings. We got gaming and all kinds of shit in the works. We are going to expand this channel. We are going to grow this channel bigger and better than you've ever seen it before. And I need you to come along and help me to do that. So check us out everywhere you can. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Nightmare. Check out the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. As always, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe and get us to 1K before we get to SummerSlam this year. It would be absolutely amazing if we could do that. So make sure you help me and get that done. Thank you all so very much. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, and the world heavyweight champion of microphones, Blue to Snowball. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, right here on Sledgehammer TV, available on YouTube.com. That's going to do it. I am out of here, and I will see you tomorrow night for SmackDown Live. Hopefully, in a much better mood. Thank you for being here. Have a good night.